Hello, today we are going to take a look at this absolutely beautiful device. At the first glance, you might think that it is a laptop, it is a notebook, but actually it's not. This is a word processor. But let's start from taking a look at the box so we can see what we can do with it. So the company is a Panasonic. The model number is WL55 and it's called a laptop word processor. If you take a look, the word laptop is written with a space in between, and that's because it is not a laptop, like laptop is a computer, that's how we are calling it. It's just indicating that this is something that you can put on your lap. Like you can have a countertop dishwasher. So here you've got a laptop word processor. Quite interesting. I'm pretty sure it shares some similarities with a regular laptop computer, but it does not allow you to run a regular files. You cannot drop the DOS shell and edit it. So I'm pretty sure that inside the ROM there is an application just for the editing of the documents, the spreadsheet, and you cannot basically drop the shell and run your own stuff. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is a possibility. On the side we do not have anything interesting. On the back we are going to be fed with most interesting information. So we know that it have a built-in floppy disk drive, and as you can see it is stated as a 713 kilobytes. This is actually a double density disk, which is a 1 megabyte unformatted. This is how it looks like. This is not your regular 2 HD disk. As you can see, it does not have the HD information. Let me grab a bunch of modern disks. Here I've got a bunch of different disks, and let me find a prime example. Those are the HD, but this is the proper name, the double-sided high density. Those type of floppy are not going to be working here. You need a disk like that. Without the HD, you've got a pretty good chance that it's going to be working. So having a correct floppy is going to be a first catch. Then we've got information that we've got a 14 line by 80 character display, and it's absolutely beautiful. It have a backlit so you can see at night. Absolutely great. Not something like you can have like on a Game Boy where there was no light. Here it's nicely lit and you can see everything. Another feature that's completely blown me away is a built-in spell checking function. So if you make a typo, it will detect it and suggest what should be a proper word that you make a mistake, which is absolutely amazing for a device that is not hooked up to the internet and it's doing everything offline. So that was amazing. Another thing, we've got a port that allows you to connect to a daisy wheel printer, the real rotating thing that was printing real characters. That was amazing technology. One day I will put my hands on it. Regular LPT port for any printer, most likely dot matrix by that day. We've got the address book and the MS-DOS file converter, so you can write a document and transfer it to your PC, which we are going to do, and we are going to see how does it work. And we've got other information that you can do while editing your document. Let's start from inspection. So this is the top of the machine. We've got the model number and the manufacturer. On the side we've got a latch for opening screen. We've got a sliding pod for adjusting the backlit brightness. And we've got our floppy disk drive that we can feed with our double density disks. Just like that. On the back we've got a cover that allows you to put a most likely rechargeable battery, and here we've got a connector, so you put your battery, you plug it here, and you can use it while traveling. And something that I love, a physical power switch. No standby current, just a regular plain simple switch. On another side we've got a DC power input, which is a 13 volt with a reverse polarity. The positive is on the outer shell, so keep in mind that. And here we've got a port covering our standard LPT port, most likely to the dot matrix printer and the Panasonic Daisy wheel printer. So it is a pretty interesting stuff. Maybe one day, maybe. And the slide for opening the screen, and on the bottom we've got a serial number, and basically that's all. So let's open the unit and take a look. If you take a look at the keyboard, each key got a couple meanings, and you can switch between like the code and the alt. So we've got a blue meaning and the orange meaning. I make adjustment to the shutter speed to get rid of the screen flickering. Let's power on our machine, and as you can see it looks pretty decent. So this is our main menu. The first thing that you need to understand, this device do not have any kind of storage inside, so we have to always use floppy as our medium. We do not have hard disk drive or any sort of a flash based storage, so absolutely any change is done in the RAM, and if we unplug it, it's going to be lost. So this is going to be our good friend. That disk is used. I've got no idea what kind of data I've got, what kind of format does it have. So we are going to start from formatting on that machine. So let me just slide that disk in. And we've got into our number 5, which is like a utilities. That's how you could translate it. Those are utilities that you can use for doing different sort of stuff. For example, here you can do a copy of a floppy disk, or you can format it. So this is what we are interested in, number 6. I hit enter. We are making sure that we want to get rid of the content. I hit enter, and now the disk is being erased. So it's being reformatted, so it's going to be compatible with that machine. So let's give it a couple moments. Almost done. Almost done. And we've got it. So our floppy disk is ready to be used. We go back to the main menu and we are asking ourselves what to do first. So maybe we are going to be starting with an address book, which is a number 3. Here is our menu for the address book. We can create new entry, we can browse through them, we can load the data to the floppy or read from the floppy. So let's go with creating new entry, and it looks pretty common, so we can call it electronic noob blog, and we can put like a phony phone number, just like that. We go back to the menu, and this is our list. We can go down, we can create another entry, but keep in mind we didn't store that. It's all in RAM, so we go to the menu, and we are interested in option 4, auf diskette, option number 4. And now it's going to read the disk. We can put our name, so like a file name, so that's going to be an address book. Address book, I hit enter, and it's writing into the floppy, and it's done. Now I can turn off the power, we can turn device on, we can go into the address book, we can browse it, and as you can see, we are not here, we lost everything. So we go into the menu, we go into the laden, which is a loading, we hit enter, we select our address book file, we hit enter, we loading from floppy, and as you can see, electronic noob blog is here. I hit enter and I can call him. Very nice. Let's take a look at the spreadsheet. Menu, 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 and the spreadsheet is number 4. It's asking us, we've got something in the RAM memory and it needs to be free, like a 64K is not enough. And we've got the same story. We can create new, edit, load or store. So we go with create a new one, and it looks like Excel for poor people. So we can put like in a column A, number 5. I can jump in between, so number 2 is going to be another 10. And maybe we can add them. I don't remember how it was. It was like equals sum A. Is that how it was? I'm very sorry, but I don't know Excel personally. I do not use, and I don't remember the syntax. That was something similar. You can basically jump in between fields and you can add values, and then you can create fields that are aggregating or doing different calculations. We can go back to the menu, we can save it, which is number 4. We hit enter. We have a place to put a file name, which is going to be our Excel. I'm going to call it like that. We hit enter, and it's nicely storing. We can turn the power off, we can turn the power on. We go into our Excel, we go into loading, which is number 3. We are going to get a list of files. Yes, we've got our Excel. We hit enter and it's loading. And this is our thing that I put and it doesn't work, but that is totally my fault. When we go back to the main menu, another thing that we can do is option number 2, and it is a Schreib machine, which is exactly typewriter. So you directly type and it's going to be printing on the daisy wheel printer or a dot matrix. Each letter is going to be sent. I do not have printer, so it doesn't work, but I'm pretty sure that it's going to be totally bypassing the memory and it will go straight without any need for a floppy. Here it says no printer, so sadly we cannot do anything. We are left with option number 1, which is the most interesting. This is our word processing mode, and we can create new text, edit, load from disk, and write to disk. So we go with new documents. We've got something in memory, our Excel file, so we confirm that the memory is going to be erased and replaced with the new document that we are working, and we've got something that looks like a Word. Let's take a look at the most interesting feature for such an old device is the spell checking. So let's type something. I make a typo over here. I'm going to engage the spell checking, and let's trigger it by pushing anything. That's going to scan. We've got the yeah over here, and I've got that spell not correctly. And yes, it detected. We can resolve that by going with the Alt key and the SC, and we are going to get the other possibilities. So we've got a Freunde and the greeting version with the uppercase. I hit enter. I'm pretty sure I hit enter. Yes, and it's working. So yeah, it is a pretty interesting device. Let's try to type something in English. I'm pretty sure it will go stupid. Like and subscribe, maybe the exclamation mark. Oh yeah, do that right now. And it detected the end as wrong, so I'm going to hit orange and the resolve. And we are going to see the end is being spelled differently. Here it's detecting what we can use instead. It can be band, hand, land, and the and. This is the German one. If we would like to use that, we select it, we hit enter, and it corrected. So it is a pretty impressive stuff. I'm not going to deep into the whole markup language because there is a big beefy book about that. If you want, at the end I will browse through, so if you've got the same unit you can refer to that, but let's store that. We edited our beautiful document. We go to the menu. We are going to store in number 4 into the floppy. Now we are going to be asked, do we want to use a Panasonic version or the MS-DOS compatible? I'm going to select the MS-DOS, and I'm going to store that in the MS-DOS. We've got some warning because most likely it's not going to be work properly, everything. So let's save it as the MS-DOS. Okay, everything is cool. That disk is formatted in the Panasonic format, so absolutely do not worry, everything is cool. We going back, and I'm going to store that just for sake of this video into our Panasonic version. Okay, I'm going to write it, and it's going to be the like. That's how I'm going to call it, like and subscribe. We hit enter, and we are storing that into our floppy just so you can see. And I'm going to kill the power like usual. We go into the word processor. We go into loading from floppy. We are selecting the Panasonic word processor because that's the format. And we are going to see our file. I'm going to open it. And hello, meine Freunde. Beautiful, it's working perfect. Now I'm going to be browsing through disk, and I'm going to find something with the double density. That looks like double density. It have a write enable. So I'm going to remove our floppy that is formatted into the Panasonic format. This is just a random floppy. I hope it's a MS-DOS compatible. I'm going to plug it in. We've got our document in the memory. I go into the menu and I'm going to save it in number 4. And now we are going to select the MS-DOS. And I'm pretty sure that this is a MS-DOS floppy, so this should work. This should work. Please work. Because I would like to try it. Beautiful. Floppy is empty keine data. I'm going to use exactly the same file name. I'm going to hit OK. And we are going to be grabbing something like this. We are going to be grabbing my tab book. The tab book is here. The floppy is here. I'm going to plug it in. It should be in the MS-DOS compatible format. We are going into drive A. We've got our file. I'm going to open it by a WordPad. It will butcher all the formatting, I'm pretty sure. But maybe it don't, maybe. We are going to be doing small scientific experiment. Let's add some text. For sure. Okay, let's save that. Hit save. It's being writing into that disk in a MS-DOS format. We are editing that on, I believe, a Windows 10. So we are powering it on. We opening, we loading the MS-DOS disk. This is not this that we stored. This is the disk we were editing. Go into the drive. Word processor. Loading. I'm going to select the MS-DOS. And it's reading our file. And let's see the file list. Do we have our like? Yes, we've got. We hit enter. Do we have our edit? For sure. We've got it for sure. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you find it interesting. See you next time and bye bye. I'm going quickly browse through the user manual. So if you do not have it, then feel free to pause the video and you can try to find some information.